Hello everyone. Myself Charan. I'm based out of Bangalore. I have a master's in biotechnology and I'm alumnus of Haas School of Business, UC Berkeley. It has been an enticing journey of 16 plus years in this domain, having worked with sponsors, service organizations in various capacities. The journey has been fruitful while looking at the outcome of bringing smiles, which is the greatest motivating and satisfying factor. I joined Efficacy in 2014. That was my second stint at Efficacy, having worked here for a year during 2012. Efficacy had its humble beginnings and has grown in this domain to be a trusted service provider. We are ISO 9001 and ISO 27001 certified organization for quality and information security. We are Great Place to Work certified as well. Transparency, thought leadership, agility in business operations, platform to boost productivity and scalability, innovative models for revenue generation, the agility to adapt to the growing technological trends and business needs. These are the few aspects which has been the key USP at Efficacy, and that is something which has been enticing me as well. My primary responsibility here is to sustain business operations and contribute in taking the business to the next level, being business ready in the current context and support leadership efforts in moving the organization in the growth path. Customer relationship enhancement, scaling up in all aspects, resourcing, infrastructure, service offerings, making efforts to ensure better employee experience, creating the right environment for quality delivery. These have been the areas of focus. Being a provider, it's important that our resources are top notch. Our delivery exceeds customer expectations. These being the crucial aspects in our business, our focus is to provide the best to the best. The organization is gelling well with the industry, which is also on the path of transformation. Key technologies and practices coming into picture, AI/ML, RWE, healthcare analytics. We are heading towards preparing ourselves to embark in this journey as well. To talk about efficacy, the name itself is unique, in line with the clinical term efficacy of a drug. That was just on the lighter side. Efficacy, as I mentioned, is a very progressive organization. Unlike other organizations, we are standing in the forefront when it comes to thought leadership and opportunities to learn. We are a large enterprise in a nutshell, since we think we are competing with large enterprises and we have the ability to be one. Irrespective of the organization we work in, few basic factors which makes you feel the organization, your home, are kind or type of colleagues you interact with, managers or mentors, the HR, IT, quality, are they business partners or your support system? Well, we have colleagues who have studied, worked globally, bringing with them loads of cultural, technical experience, a very flat structure wherein you can reach out to your higher ups with ease instead of going through the maze of designations, and they act as your mentors. Our business partners are more than business partners, instead of a support system, supporting the organization in its vital journey. Efficacy has been pioneer in several aspects. We are one of the pioneers in the domain to have work from home setup, one of the pioneers in the service domain to embrace cloud, one of the pioneers who understood the need of information security and relevant ISO certifications, which we are successfully implementing too. Currently, we are experimenting several aspects with respect to employee experience as well. The world is racing. There is a race to be on Mars. There is a race for cloud occupation. There is a race for vaccine variants, a race for everything else we see. And we have to be in the race. Else, we will be done and dusted. Now, what is the race in our domain? How do we pace up to reach is something which we have to internalize and perform. The readiness is something which is the key. We all talk about simple, irresistible organization. How do we make work meaningful? How do we recreate or reword management? How do we create a culture of organization and humanistic workplace? redefine the term growth. Above all, can our employees, customers, stakeholders trust us? Can we create a culture of trustworthiness? We must mean what we say and we say what we mean. That's the path we envision to have at Efficacy, moving towards a healthy, livable organization. When we say healthy, livable organization, um, the word yoga comes into my mind, which basically means union of physical, mental, and spiritual practices, and which basically has the three main pillars: the karma yoga, bhakti yoga, the gnana yoga, wherein karma, selfless action performed for the benefit of others; bhakti, wherein you contribute, share, practice, and attain liberty by joining hands; gnana, wherein you constantly learn to move in the path of learning. Well, all these kind of inculcated, in our management day-to-day living makes us move towards a healthy, livable organization, as good as a human body, which is healthy and ready to take up any challenges. Growth is an interesting term. Customer geographical expansion, service portfolio expansion, scalability in terms of employee numbers. It could be your top line growth, anything. Our services, both in the clinical front, software services front, has been exceeding customer expectations so far, which has been possible just because of the people, the team, our technical colleagues who have been our pillar of strength. Global clinical trials market size is expected to expand at a CAGR of around 5.7% by 2028. And the overall market for healthcare analytics is also expected to grow at a CAGR of 28.3%, all due to upcoming technological innovations, the EHR adoption, improving patient outcomes, rising importance of real world evidence are expected, which is basically driving the growth of the market. And that is where Efficacy has to move towards, in which we are moving steadily. We are looking at aspects of descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, and of course, we do want to move towards cognitive analytics as well. The clinical analytics part of it comprising precision health, reporting and compliance, supporting clinical decisions, population health analytics is something which we are working towards to grow in those aspects as well. Frankly speaking, we are on a growth spree aiming to scale up to 500 plus employees in a year's time, knowing the challenges of market conditions and the culture in geographical locations too. We are steadily expanding our services in the US. We have geographically expanded to Canada as well. So it has been a path which is promising for Efficacy. Well, the growth has its own challenges. COVID, mankind has seen the worst. One thing which we all have internalized is everything cannot be taught through books and videos. Few are innate, part of our culture. I'm sure each of us weren't taught how to be a family person, how to manage our kids, children. No, we weren't. Yet we are successfully doing it. Here too, COVID just proved that we can handle challenges. Being a work from home organization, there will be, you know, enough challenges in managing, a work from home aspect. And COVID, we ensured that we had a lot of activities in line so that we improvise employee experience. We did have a series of COVID awareness sessions, both at an employee level and for their families. Doctors talk, we invited doctors from reputed institutes, hospitals, and to give the ground reality situation of the case to our employees. To ensure our employees have no issues working from home, we did have seamless, to ensure seamless involvement and minimal disruption to work. We supported every employee with work from home essentials such as work desk, headphones, power backup, etc. We tied up with those vendor involved in providing support related to mental well-being to overcome the stress involved in the pandemic and ensuring the work-life balance. We provided COVID kits to all our employees, vendors, well-wishers, so that, you know, emphasizing the need to remain safe and as a goodwill measure. We did support few NGOs which were involved in COVID rehabilitation, oxygen provision, etc. So that was one of the goodwill and CSR activity which we did as well. Employees residing in various regions of the country were grouped and COVID clusters were formed. COVID buddies were assigned to the respective clusters. COVID buddies were trained in managing the first level of communication related to COVID, especially in their clusters. We also empaneled ourselves with a qualified doctor who could be reached over phone for immediate guidance in case of any emergency. Over and above all these, we did have our internal employee engagement activities as one of the morale boosting factor or activity. Employee development, a very key aspect in the growth or sustainability of any organization. At Efficacy, we ensure that for employees, we just want to make them know the power of possibilities, ease versus can. Jerome Letwin talks about the frog's sight, change in contrast, change in illumination, change in motion, change in the curves. Nothing but it just focuses on its survival. That's short-term results and perspectives. That is something which we want to overcome. Ensuring that our resources know about neuroplasticity and the ability of what can a human mind can achieve, our own ability to do something more. So we have rolled out several initiatives. One, the management development program, encourage and guide our colleagues to present papers, mental well-being initiatives, trainings on ISO auditing principles, initiative to boost skills such as R, Python, software testing, software automation, Ruby on Rails for development related aspects, project management, etc. So the whole thought is, can we create new mental models, frameworks, which not just talks about leadership. However, management is also key, wherein we manage our day-to-day weekly activities, which is aligning towards empowering people, our middle managers, our human resource team, join hands in making this happen. And we ensure that we ourselves are prepared to take on bigger challenges. That is in line with our efficacy values and beliefs, wherein we operate on the 4C model, giving enough thrust on competency, the first C, ensuring there is commitment from every angle, both from a top-down approach and a bottoms-up approach, the commitment, the competency, and contribution and character. So this is the 4C model we would operate on, ensuring there is reciprocity and mutuality. We are also driven by fairness as enumerated in our 3T framework, that is T for teamwork, transparency, and trust. That's the 3T framework which we have in place, ensuring there is fairness in whatever we perform. Overall, to sum it up, Efficacy has been a great place to work. People here are the great set of individuals whom we interact with daily, and we would want to ensure that this continues to be not just a great place to work, but also one of the greatest organizations to do business with, to grow and take ourselves to the next level. Thank you.